Hey everyone, and welcome to another video for another day. So, uh, we're we're at the end game. Uh, we normally would be going to I forget what they called it, but the Eastern world to face the Enchanter and finish everything. But we're gonna need some help first, or at least that's the excuse I'm using. So we're going to go and get the support of the Elemental Guardians, which are extremely powerful. So our first trip is going to be to the Temple of Amantonk. I guess that's how it's pronounced, which is essentially the Earth Temple, to try and get the help of the Great Turtle. This is the Temple of Amantonk. Have you come to me with the Great Turtle? We need to get the treasure from the innermost room and bring it back here. By the way, the treasure sucks. So the thing with these areas, which is cool, is that it's both cool and it kind of sucks, which is these areas will give you some actual history. Is that okay? So every single enemy in this area is going to be wood. No, not wood, earth. We want to use wood, which is why I put a bunch of Fenrir cards in here, and basically put as many wood creatures as I can into the deck. But what I was saying is that, I've said it before, there's not a ton of history to be learned in the game, unfortunately. Every now and then you learn a little bit something. We learned some stuff about the gods last episode, but you don't get a semblance of world building. But these areas do actually give you some backstory between, basically it tells of the creation of the entire world, as well as the war between the gods and men. And actually, here's our first glimpse of it. Unfortunately, I'm doing these out of order. I don't know the proper order for the history to make sense. But this says, last remaining god brought 5 runestones to the rulers of the little ones on each continent. Each chieftain swore to protect the runestones he received. Each was promised prosperity in return. The god left the land and became light, shielding each land from the other. As time passed, the little ones forgot about the other land and remembered only their own continent. I think that's supposed to be the last one. And what they're talking about is obviously the breakage of the land, or the 2 continents, and we just got our Fenrir back. That's awesome. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah, there's like a giant crack, like a divide in the earth. And I guess what they're saying is that there was some kind of illusion or something that the gods created to hide the 2 continents from each other. I don't really know how it works, but it's whatever. So, oh god. Okay, so yeah, one of the common enemies in this area, unfortunately, is the zombie dragon. The elemental areas do not fuck around, and they will throw very powerful enemies at you. This is what I want. I want to get a Caterpillar out here, just something to distract him because he has a shit ton of health, obviously, and just let him do his thing. I don't want to hit him because he may get, well, we'll hit him with a Banshee. Yeah, okay. As long as we time it right, we can make it so that he doesn't get invincibility frames between hits. And that should do it. Sweet. Yeah, zombie dragons are... Having as a normal enemy, it feels like a bit much, but again, if you... yeah, I feel like once you actually get the quote treasure, which as you saw was a mummy card, it's not so much supposed to be an actual treasure as much as just a test, I guess. But it feels like once you actually get it, you get into a lot more battles. And actually this intersection room that we're walking into now, okay, I guess it's not going to do it. That room is supposed to be shit, I went the wrong way. It is supposed to be a zombie dragon fight pretty much every single time you step into the room, like so. Fucking, I had to open my mouth, didn't I? It genuinely feels like every single time you walk into this room, you spawn the zombie dragon, and it's ridiculous. By the way, that little friend that we just called, that's the Mega Mandragora, and I love him. It's one of the best trap cards in the game. The radius is huge, the damage is huge. Actually, I think it's the only trap card worth using. And shit, I forget which way I'm supposed to go now. I go this way, right? Yeah. You know, most of the trap cards, like the Maelstrom doesn't do a lot of damage. Mandragora doesn't do a lot of damage. You know, most of the... Is this... There's a chest in there, isn't there? Oh, wait. Fuck, if there is, I lost it, because I'm pretty sure those partitions aren't... So, partitions in this area will open up. Fuck. I think I missed a ferry, too. I genuinely think... Oh, no, there it is. How did I miss this the first time? I must have just walked right by it. It's my favorite place in the whole temple. Good for you, buddy. Well, you're coming with me now. So, get ready to find a new favorite place. We can take him out with a Chaos Knight. So we're about to have our boss battle. The temple is actually very straightforward. It's actually the only straightforward temple. The other three, especially the wood one, it can be a nightmare. So now we have to fight the Great Turtle and his two friends, which are Sphinxes. The boss fights in the temples do not fuck around. Sphinxes are extremely hard-hitting, which is why we're using two Fenrils to get them out of the fight as quickly as possible. Once they're out of the picture, it's just the Great Turtle, and while he has a lot of health and a lot of HP, and he hits pretty hard, he's borderline stationary, and he's slow. So we can just kind of stick and move. Just kind of poke him down and not have a lot of issues. And at this point, it really is just throw every strong card that we have at it and just burst him down. Cool, we got 2 hits on him. And apparently our Catapoker decided not to do anything, which is just my favorite thing to happen. I'm going to try and use as few cards as possible just to keep our rank up, even though it doesn't really matter. We got a Demon Hound. Okay, there we go. Throw a Demon Hound over there. Throw a Steel Skeleton over here. And just let him have at it. Actually, we're gonna help him out a little bit. There we go. And I mean, that's the fight. It seemed very easy, but if you don't get rid of the Sphinxes, it becomes a problem. The Sphinxes hit very hard. We took no damage, only used a couple cards, so 5-star ranking. I think you get zombie dragons, Sphinxes, and maybe the Kata. Yeah, and we got 2 Sphinxes and zombie dragon, which is the best possible thing we could get, because the Cataplebis is terrible. So, and we get the Great Turtle, which is, you may have noticed star rankings, which I guess is supposed to indicate the strength of the card. The Elemental Guardians and 2 cards that we will get at the very end of the game. Basically, they're your reward for finishing and for collecting all the fairies. They're, I want to say, like, the only 4-starred cards, unless like Elephant King and the Steel Skeleton are. No, so there's only 6 4-starred cards, and they're all extremely powerful. So there you go. Next, we will be going to the Water Temple, which can actually be pretty tough, just because of the boss fight. Also, we got a Chaos Knight. We already have a ton of those. After that, at 90, we get a Steel Skeleton. We basically don't get anything good until we give him all 100. So the next area that we're going to be going to is the Turgon Temple, and try to enlist the help of the Water Guardian. Obviously, after you can use a wood deck, but it really doesn't move you, so we want to, and I think I've already built it. You can have multiple decks, by the way. So yeah, this is our wood deck. This was training just to get experience with a lot of cards. That's what we've been using. But here's our earth deck, which is basically going to be full of earth, throw in a couple powerful water creatures. Obviously, we have good neutral cards, and the Cockatrice and Whipworm, just because, you know, they're pretty good. Unfortunately, the only thing that sucks with this deck, we only have 1 Behemoth, which is the equivalent of Fenrir and Ice Golem and all that. It is a pain in the ass to level up and copy, and I don't remember how to get it through transformation, so we're just going to have to make do. So there you go. Next time, we're going to do the Turgon Temple. We're going to rush through it, learn some more lore, get one of the best cards in the game. I would say probably the best of the 4 Guardian cards. Easily, I mean, I think all the Guardian cards actually are banned in multiplayer matches unless you turn that rule off. There are certain cards that the game literally will not allow you to use in multiplayer, and it makes sense. And I'm rambling. So thank you guys for watching. We'll do this next time and hope to see you there. Later.